Yeah, good.
Is there,
I'll start singing or whatever you
All right, we are group No Compile, and our project is Graduation Tree Filter and Optimizer, or GTFO. My name is Chet Parrott.
Sam Sagers? I'm Arthur Milish.
Sarah Newman. This is Lacey Williams. She's sick. She lost her voice.
It's an excuse.
Yeah, I tried that one.
So, for our first part, we have a number of things we have to set up. First of which, we already started the semester. Of course, we have to get an idea for projects. We have lots of ideas. We had to pick one. We sent that list around. We did eventually come across something. Yeah, so through this, we're going to go through our goals, all the research we had to do, foundation of the ideas I mentioned, challenges. There are quite a few challenges. But we managed to put out the summary results, and of course we had the working demonstration at the end.
So, like Sam said, we struggled for a while trying to figure out what we wanted to do. We eventually decided on the graduation tree filter and optimizer. Basically what we wanted to do is we wanted to be an organization tool for primarily students, but also a good tool for advisors and anyone really helping someone try to figure out their schedule path for the rest of the time at school. Basically, it can be useful for everyone, that I said, students, advisors, and anyone curriculum planning-wise. We did it because we currently at the school don't really have a very comprehensive or user-friendly way to build a schedule. It's usually look in the catalog and use what we have on the internet. It's a little subpar, I think. We wanted to try to improve on that. A lot of things that we found out that it can lower advising time as well as help reduce dropouts. People not being able to know what classes they need to take causes a lot of problems students nowadays.
So some of the things we had to research was model view, remodel. We also had to research C# because most of us wasn't very familiar with the language. GUI and XAML, ADO.NET for the database, and attrition-related dropouts because our program is supposed to help students stay in school, not drop out.
So the foundation, which is basically the technological base upon which we attempted to go forward building this, of course, C#.NET and XAML using the WPF, or the Windows Presentation Foundation. We also use Visual Studio 2010, which I always like to say that my IDE costs more than my car. If you pay retail for it, it's $12,000. We use Microsoft SQL Server 2008. Expression Blend 4 plus Sketchflow, Tortoise SVN, SVN, a couple of graphic design pieces of software, Adobe CS4, which is a combination of Photoshop, Illustrator, and then we also use GIMP for some touch-up stuff. For prior presentations, we also use Microsoft Visio. And then for the database implementation, we used ADO.NET to actually design and build out the database and all of the entities actually related to it. And then to interact with the database itself, we use Link to SQL.
All right, so for our challenges, the first part was, again, coming with an idea and designing it. And at first, the scope was entirely too large, as most people mentioned. So as we went throughout the semester, we had to continuously say, well, how can we make this a little smaller, a little more manageable? A big problem was task segregation. Of course, usually that's left up to the team leader. And he did try to delegate what he could. He spent a while just trying to go through and actually see how he was going to delegate this, which was another problem. As I mentioned, the scope feasibility. We continuously had to modify this because it was there was a lot involved, and we did manage to get a good portion of what we were hoping for. And the biggest part, of course, is deadlines. It seems so far away, and then you try to delegate all these things, and if you're not really on it, the deadline comes up faster than you expect, so.
So a few of the accomplishments that we actually got through, we got a pretty good handle on C#, which is kind of a natural progression from Java. We actually did a lot of the programming in Java to begin, because that's what we've mostly been familiar with, and then copy pasted over and like, oh, I can use structs, I can use other things that are a little bit more friendly for application development besides Java, which is, Java's wonderful, but this is a little bit more tuned for it. We also got a pretty good handle on some of the WPF-based GUI elements, as well as the XAML that's actually based on XAML is XML, which is extensible markup language. It's just a way of dynamically defining the information and the storyboards and all the pieces of the GUI without actually having to recompile every single time we want to change it. Another good thing that we figured out was the difference between bottom-up and top-down software design. We've redesigned it both ways several times, trying to figure out which was the most efficient way of actually modeling it and building it out. And then ADO.NET and SQL, like I said before, and then model view model was actually very useful for creating the architecture for the entire piece of software. At the very end, we actually wound up doing some stuff in code behind for some reasons that will remain undisclosed. So, summary of results.
Basically, we did accomplish a pretty good amount in our program. First thing, we did create a course planner. You can go in there and you can pull classes from several different departments and add them into your schedule with a specific semester that you want to add into. You can also look at a list of requirements, which is populated based on what your major or minor is, and can add classes from that list as well. We have a pretty good login system, pretty much error-free from what we've tested anyways. Registration, same thing, basically a very easy way to register a new user if you're the first time using it. Very good data model that we have, which allows us to, if we were able to add more classes to it, more support for other majors and minors, very well set up for us. It goes into the architecture structure basically. We have a very good foundation in the program already that any kind of add-ons that you wanted to do, it should be very easy to do. Like I said, we do have support for a computer science major. It was the main focus that we had right now. One of our original goals was to have support for all majors, but that seemed turned out to be quite a bit more intense than we thought it would be. We have a very nice way to view class descriptions, all in the same view, so that when you're looking at adding a new class from whatever table it is, you can very easily figure out which class it is and get some useful information about it, as well as prerequisites and things like that. And we have very good user assistance in there, basically, will help them for whatever you're currently at. And that's the fun part of demonstration. Graduation tree filter and optimizer is our program. Just wait on it slow before it disappears. So like I said, pretty easy login screen as you see right here. Little information. There's login, create new user, login button as you can see. Again, any questions, info button right down here. Just some simple instructions on what you do. Then we'll bring you right back to the previous screen. If you already have a account and you log in, we're going to show you the new user screen real quick first. Once again, just to show you, info button completely separate from the previous view, so it is for each view. If you wanted to add a new user to it, I'll show you a few of the pre-authentication that we have for it. Basically, if you don't add one, at a W number that is a certain length, 7 numbers, like every W number is. You try to add it, it will tell you give you an error. If you wanted to add one without that was correct, but without a name, that you don't have a name, and so on and so forth. Anybody can shout out some numbers. We're going to create a new user if you want to just throw in some information.
Yeah. Give some.
867-5309.
Zero.
Don't forget it. And if you click go, it will bring you back to the new user screen, let you know that the new user was successfully created. And we go ahead and log in with that. What's the number again?
It said 5309, but you put 5390.
And we'll slide over. It could be a little bit different when you don't have the presentation shrink out resolution. But as you can see, you can log in right here. It shows you that basically the schedule view, which is completely empty. We didn't add any majors or minors yet. So as you see, the left is schedule right here. Basically, just your requirements list is empty. If you go over to my information, it will show you the login number that we created, username, users, and as you can see, there's no majors or minors right now. If you were to add one, hit edit right there. Go ahead and go through the drop-down menu. Basically, you want to do sciences, computer science department, major minor, so you want to do science at concentration, and add a year. You can do that right there. We're actually going to log out real quick and go on to the one that we already have some populated information for. Back to login. As you see, the left of schedule over there is now populated with some requirements that have not yet been met by the user. If you wanted to add them over to your schedule view, you could do that. Simply clicking on the class, you're using the drop-down menu to say which semester you wanted to add it to, and then sliding over right there, and we'll populate the spring 2011 that class that you selected. If you also wanted to do one that's not in the requirements, so you wanted to add a specific class for whatever reason, or something like that you can choose from, you can do the same thing by choosing a different department, and then also back to the semester, as you see the error messages once again right there. Once again, the user screen, as you can see, it populated the major and minor category right there. With what we want to put in there, as well as the login name and user information. And then we have a little about screen about us in the group.
Please don't send any emails to me.
So future work that we want to do, that we could do. Basically, we didn't complete the save functionality. You can add classes to the schedule view, but we don't have it where it updates to every time you log in. That user now has the stuff that you had saved in there. Same thing for majors and minors. Does not update with it. Main thing that we really wanted from the very beginning was support for all majors and minors to make it more useful for everyone in the school. Was definitely something we wanted to do, but it's just way too huge for us. We wanted to have basically an optimized button so that we could have every requirement that's listed for a certain major and minor combination, and then automatically populate a schedule for the duration of your time here. That would be the most logical to and then of course the admin and advisor functionality we wanted to have. Mainly an advisor screen, which is very similar to a regular user screen, but it can be could view any user that's in there, that's already looking in there if the advisors agree to, and be able to help add schedule, add things to the schedule for them.
So any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, now would be the time.
Run the app again so they can have questions.
How's it keep on moving?
I have a question.
Of course you do, Sam.
So when the first time whenever you opened up your thing and you said, hang on while it's loading the database, what database are y'all using? Like, well, obviously you're using the database, but is it local to the machine? Like, is it on the machine at all?
It's local on the machine.
So when you save stuff, when you're talking about like session saving stuff, you're not just pushing it to the database and then I can see that you're like doing, handling background data temporarily there, but you're not pushing it to the database to keep it in there permanently for you for that machine?
We're pushing user information permanently. What we actually didn't get accomplished, what Parker was saying, was the add, to be able to add the schedule items back to the individual users in the database. So the logic is already there, it's just a matter of implementing it.
Okay, that was another pass.
Then on the other questions, can you guys go one by one and tell me your contribution to the project?
Sure, I'll start up here. I had a lot of initial GUI design, created a lot of the views, did a lot of pretty much all the info button views and the logic moved back between those. Did a lot of front-end functionality, a lot of the error message that you see, overall layout, and I feel like I had a pretty strong influence on where the overall direction of the project was going. If you ever had a question on, should we do this or this? I was making a lot of decisions for that.
So I did a fair piece of the graphic design work, actually. All of the green stuff, the GTFOs, came up with the name GTFO. The data model, I did that as well. I was able to get the user screen working. The tree view where you saw the courses, that was some stuff that I was working on. The way that the buttons are actually designed, that's me as well. And then I helped pretty much everybody with the individual pieces that they were working on. So Sam, one of the things that he was working on was, one of the things that he was working on was a regular expressions engine to actually parse the PDFs that we have that describe the individual course, the individual courses that we have. So that's pretty much where I was at.
There, as Chad said at the very beginning, I actually did work with him to figure out how we were going to design most of the relationships between all of these entities, such as courses and colleges and colleges. Later, I was given the task of figuring out how to take all these PDFs, these catalogs. There were massive amounts of them, so we just took a few of them, and we decided how we were going to actually, in the program, just take all the information from PDF to text. We were originally going to use a tool that did this, but it was better just at that point to take it to text, straight to the text, just go copy paste, and then that's when we gave it to the program to use regular expressions to sort of funnel out what information we wanted to put in there. So just here with how you're able to see specifically CNPS 390. I went through and made expressions that pulled all that specifically out from each catalog. After that was finally done, it took a while. I worked with Parker on the view models to get some of the functionality on these buttons. And it took a while, yes. So as you can see, more of the prereqs and descriptions. It took a while to figure out because with regex, you really have to fine tune it, and it takes. And then there's always little exceptions and things that it can throw. So
There's a lot of splitting and substrings and stuff like
the
that.
pattern wound up being, it takes this, and every sixth line is what you're actually looking for.
Yeah, we had to go over it in mod 6 to actually figure out which item we were going to use.
So I worked on the GUI, how the screen should look, placement of things, also, worked on the buttons, mainly alongside with Parker, took a lot of direction from him, helped him out with things that couldn't help him. And she did a lot of the business logic, and a little bit of the GUI, and the information button.
Very good.
Why didn't you show that details button before?
I forgot.
Because I was going to ask about it, and then you showed it.
I'm sorry, I completely forgot. I was just going, thank you.
So for all the courses we have loaded in, you can see all of the details about it. That was actually a pretty big part of it. We wanted.
What courses are in that left schedule? Is that just computer science courses?
Computer science courses.
Because the concentrations require other classes. So how would you
So
know?
these are the core classes required by the scientific concentration. They're not ordered right now, so it's basically as they are in the database. If you scroll down, you'll see.
Looks like a lot of them.
Yeah. So you see like 290, 161. Those are kind of for the depth list.
Maybe last one's up.
165. And here's the classroom.
Yeah.
Can you select multiple classes to add to the same semester at once? I'm taking 4
No,
computer science,
that's fine.
just one at a time.
Yes, sir. That would be a good feature to add.
Can you add a couple classes to several semesters? Let me see how it looks. They're in 280. Spring. 285, 280. Or you can just ignore me.
What do you want? I can't
No,
hear you.
no, whatever you want to do, Chad.
All right. And do that, and then we'll say 401, just for kicks and giggles, next semester. So blow these out,
That's pretty cool.
see the detailing about the individual courses.
Oh, cool. That's nice. I wish you would have showed me that.
Why didn't you show us that feature without asking us?
And then say we were talking about our geography class, we want to add that one in too. Since we need
I got
some
all the
electives.
cool stuff out of you.
Do that in fall of 2011. And we'll open this back up, and geography 126. See the details on that one. And it knows which details button it's actually going to push it down right now.
So any other feature you'd like to show us?
Anything else you're going to tell me about, Chad?
It minimizes, we can log out, and there's some.
Wow, minimum.
One thing you might want to consider, you had the error message in the details box, which is cool. I had no idea it was there.
Okay.
Like it showed the error, I did not know that was what it was. Maybe some red text. Errors are in red. But that's low nitpicky.
What's the cancel button do?
Where's the cancel?
It's decoration.
In
Well,
case you-
I mean, I was just figuring it could be like log out or something, but then there's log out, or, I mean, I was just.
Well, I was gonna say, in case you didn't want to add something, it's not functional right now, I'll tell you that.
Can you click on my information one more time?
What's that?
Can you click on my information again?
So the only reason that there are courses populated in the items left is because he has the scientific concentration. And since he has a degree, it's actually going to populate this courses automatically.
When you logged in with your new user, it didn't show the information you inputted for that user.
The name right there?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Obviously, you know better than me.
I'll make a new one.
4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10.
Is there a limit to how many numbers you can put in that dummy number?
Has to be exactly 7, no letters, I didn't throw
It's got some
a
pre-validation.
letter in there. At least 7 digits, or exactly 7 digits.
I will say y'all's course adding system is nice, it's very nice.
Okay.
And like so, doesn't have majors and minors populated because there wasn't any put in
So you guys picked an advanced architecture internally, and you guys went with constructing stuff in XAML, right? So you guys use WPF. What was the, where did the choice to use these technologies come from?
Well, it was really a presentation that was done in this class earlier that really got us excited about it. Cap did it for us. We thought it would be cool. We do a lot of people work on with uniforms and regular stuff like that.
At least originally.
Yeah. So we really wanted to set it apart. It was I guess the main objective for it. You know, with the Southeastern theme program, it was a lot easier to add colors and stuff like that. That was more along the lines of what we wanted to stick with.
What about your internal architecture? Using model, UV model? Where'd the
That
choice
was-
to do that come from?
That was mainly out of necessity, I think.
Where'd you guys hear about it?
That was a kind of a drop thing from Chris. He was in class and they were talking about different types of design patterns. So we heard about MVM, and then basically we went out and spent a whole lot of time researching it out. Looking at pretty much every single tutorial there is on the internet. Is probably a good 50, 60 hours.
Chris didn't give you more guidance than 4 letters and a wave?
So once we figured it out, it was like, oh my goodness, this is wonderful. And then, yeah, so getting through it, the entire login structure is actually done with MVM, and there's absolutely no code behind on it. Once it gets into a little bit more of the advanced functionality, that's what we started doing. Some of the code requirements
It happens.
to speed it up.
It's not good, but it
Yeah.
happens.
I really feel like we minimized it, like you said.
It's good.
Until crunch time.
Even once you go into production environments, and the client needs it on Friday,
Yeah.
that's your main objective.
Yep.
You're not gonna build your ivory tower. So on Friday you deliver with stuff in the code behind, and then on Monday you take it out.
Clean it up. That's right.
Good. For anybody else looking at MVVM, I'm sure Chris would have told you this if you'd have asked. And anybody who makes a suggestion in the class also buys. You buy a fair amount of their assistance when they do that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people giving out advice. Take them up on it. Jason Dollinger created a great video that I now just make people sit down and watch the video. In fact, I came into a class and I made the whole class watch this stupid video.
It's a long one, but very informative.
It's long, yeah, you were in it.
Yeah.
It's about an hour, but it shows you how to go from basic to advanced.
Yep.
And it's good.
I think that's the actual video I downloaded.
So keep it. Don't rely. Don't expect it to be on the web. Save it.
Yeah.
You may need it later.
It was a very good resource, and then that actually prompted a whole lot of other data-driven